G'day guys, welcome to my Unexplored feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL round 18 predictions for 2021 guys. Let's get started. So starting off with this first game of this match, we see that Titans going up against the Eels. Now, in this game, the Titans, they are a really good team. I know they are. Since no Junior Paulo and no Joey Lussick, that means Murata Niokore will fill in. Obviously, he is number 14, but in that number 10 squad for Junior Paulo anyway. And that means no Joey Lussick, which that means Reid Money is back. Hope to see him playing a really good game in that match, which that means the Titans are obviously a really good team. I do suspect the Titans have a really good effort in this game. Obviously, they are quite of an average team, but I do see in this game that they are a really hard team to beat sometimes. But going up against this Eels side, I just have a gut feeling that the Eels will really amp up in this game, and obviously I reckon they'll get a win in this match. But in this game, what I do suspect that is Clint Gutherson having a really good game. Obviously, you got Mitchell Moses, number 7, in that team, which he will have a really good game in that match. And I do suspect in this game, I reckon he will have a really good match in that game. Obviously, Clint Gutherson, he's been alright in the season, but going up against the Titans, they have a good record against the Titans, and obviously the Titans have a bad record against the Eels. So in this game, I'm going to go with the Parramatta Eels in this one, and I'm going to go with them by 12 points in this match. I reckon it'll be secluded, but I reckon it'll be really tight, really hard, and obviously really difficult in this game. But I do suspect in this match having a real tightness of a game, but I'm going to go with the Parramatta Eels by 12 points in that match. The next game of that match, we see the Sea Eagles going up against the Dragons. Now, in this game, the Dragons, I heard that they have breached the COVID, obviously, so until then, this is going to be really difficult for them. No Matt Duffy, no Daniel Alvaro, no Tyrell Fuimaono, which that means Tyrell Sloan will be filling in for Matt Duffy. Obviously, in this game, I do suspect the Dragons having a really good one, but since it happened, a lot of players have been gotten the fine, so I just do believe in this game that the Manly side, I reckon they'll get a really good win in this game for sure, because obviously they turn things around and making a really good lead anyway. But since no Tommy Trbojevic, it will be very hard to obviously get a win for Manly side, because obviously Ruben Garrick is a really good player, but sometimes he gets a bit agitated sometimes, and I just don't think that he plays a really good match by a long shot. But I do suspect in this game that the Manly Sea Eagles will only just get over the line, and I reckon they will, because obviously they have a really good base team, and obviously I reckon they will have a really good game for sure. But I do suspect in this game that the Manly Sea Eagles will really get a really good effort and to a really good win. But I'm going to go with anytime try scorer in this game for first one. I'm going to go with Jason Saab, and anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with Lachlan Croker. I'm going to go with him. I reckon those two will get tries. But then I'm going to go with Manly Sea Eagles by 10 points in that match. The next game of that match, we see the Cowboys going up against the Roosters. Now, in this game, the Cowboys, I heard a little bit of breaking news, a little bit of rumour that Valentine Holmes is going to be out for a month due to a shoulder injury. So I don't know who's going to be the fullback replacing him for the Cowboys' number 1 fullback jersey in that team. But obviously the Cowboys, I do suspect they have a really good record, but I just it's kind of hard to really predict them because every single time they play, they really get ambushed all the time. And I do suspect in this game to have a really bad effort, but I just don't believe that they will get a win. And it's only a matter of time if they do. But if they do, it won't be a big high number. It will be a low number. But the Roosters, though, they are a really good team. I know they are struggling with players out due to injuries and obviously retirements and so on and so on. But still, they are a really good team, base team. They are struggling a little bit. I know Sam Walker is not playing a really good game, but I do suspect for him he will have a really good match going up against the Cowboys in that game. But what I do suspect is this game's going to be real tight, and the Roosters aren't really a good enough team at the moment. For me, what I do suspect is if they do win, it won't be by a bigger margin. I don't suspect that because obviously the Cowboys, sometimes they go get a win, but then they don't. And then obviously the Roosters, though, they get a win, but they don't. And I just kind of reconsiderating that if this game's going to be real tight, I reckon the Roosters will win. And I'm going to go with them by 8 points in that match. And I just reckon the Roosters will only just get over the line by 8 points in that game. The next game of that match, we see the Raiders going up against the Sharks. Now, in this game, the Raiders are a really good team at the moment. Since no Bailey Simonson, which that means Xavier Savage, will be on that number one squad of that team, replacing Bailey Simonson. Obviously, no chance at Nickel Kolstad. He is out for the season. He'll obviously play next year. So, what I do suspect is, I reckon the Raiders will have a really good game, but they aren't really good enough team at the moment based on the players and how the way they get over the line sometimes. But what I do suspect by the Sharks, obviously, but I have a gut feeling the Sharks will get over the line, but I don't think they will win. And based on that, I just think this game's going to be another tight game. Obviously, these two sides aren't really going as much as planned at the moment, but what I do suspect, obviously, in that game is I just reckon that in this game, it won't be as much of a really good match. I just suspect that if this game's going to be real tight, it's not going to be a really, a really hard game. I reckon the Raiders, though, will get a win here, but I reckon since the Sharks are a really good team, they will play a really good effort, but I reckon the Raiders will just get over the line and turn the Sharks around and obviously put pressure on the Sharks. But what I do suspect in this game, my highlight of this match, if it goes to plan, I'm going to say that Sam Williams, I reckon he will get over the line. I reckon he will be the man of the match. And what I do suspect is, I reckon Sam Williams will get over the line. Obviously, I reckon he'll be the man of the match in that game. But I'm going to go with the Raiders by 6 points in that game. And I reckon they'll only get a try to obviously win that game by 1 try in that match. The next game of that match, we see the Storm going up against the Knights. Now, in this game, the Knights, what I do suspect in this game is the Storm are a really solid team, and the Newcastle Knights need to really work if they want to beat the solid Melbourne Storm. And what I do suspect is the Melbourne Storm are a really good team, but the Newcastle Knights, they have been struggling though with Mitchell Pearce obviously was out, but he's obviously in return, so that means he will play in that game. What I do suspect obviously in that game is the Storm, I reckon they'll get over the line, but it's only a matter of time if the Newcastle Knights really work together to make a really good effort to put pressure on the Melbourne Storm in that game. But what also I do suspect in that match is the Melbourne Storm are a really good team, but what I really don't like is the grubby movements. And what I do suspect is the Melbourne Storm are a really base solid team, which they will get over the line by an inch. And obviously with Josh Adokar, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes, they are a really solid team. But without them, they aren't. But in this game, this one will be an easy one. I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm by 18 points in that match. And what I do suspect is if the Newcastle Knights would work, they need to work really hard to get over the line, but it's highly unlikely they will. So I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm by 18 points, and I reckon they will get over the line by a margin and an inch. And yeah, I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm in this game by 18 points. The next game of that match, we see the Warriors going up against the Panthers. Now, in this game, what I do suspect in this match, it's not going to play at Central Coast Stadium anymore due to the breach of the COVID. So that means they are playing at Queensland. So the fans up there will obviously be happy for the Warriors fans and the Panthers fans. So I'm obviously out of New Zealand, so I do respect the Warriors all the way. But the Panthers, though, they are another solid team, as I did mention about the Melbourne Storm. And obviously, this game is going to be a real tough game. And the Panthers haven't got, I don't think they have got Nathan Cleary and Jerome Luai. But I'm not too sure. Comment down below if you know who's in and who's out for the Panthers squad. But I'm not too sure if Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary are playing in that game. But the Warriors, what I do suspect in this game is they are a really good team, and sometimes they get over the line. But when they verse a solid team, they really go down edge, and they have to really work really hard. And this game proves to the Panthers that if the Warriors don't do well, the Panthers will get a win by, God knows, a margin, and a big margin. The Panthers are obviously still a really good team, and Stephen Crichton is just an absolute superstar, and I credit for him because he's an absolute good enough player to really play good for the Panthers. So I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one, and I really reckon the Panthers will get over the line. So I'm going to go with them by 14 points in that game. The next game of that match, we see the Broncos going up against the West Tigers. Now, last time the West Tigers played against the Broncos, I think it was Michael Cheekham got the winning try, and then the Broncos lost in that game. So it's just a matter of time in this game, and obviously you got to get the timing of the passing and offloads, possessions and stuff like that. But the Broncos, I just feel so sorry for them because they aren't really good enough team at the moment, but I know they are. They obviously need to try very hard if they want to win games of football. Still, what I suspect though is I just don't reckon that they aren't a really good enough team at the moment, but it's highly unlikely that they will win against the West Tigers. And I just do reckon in this game that the West Tigers have a really good opportunity to get over the line here. But it's a matter of fact that since there's no Jermaine Asako for the number 1 squad, I think he is number 2. I'm not too sure about that anyway. But for Tessie New is number 1, which that means Xavier Coates is number 5, and so on and so on. But I don't want to really tell you the lineups. And the Broncos are a really solid team. Sometimes they are. I just think that sometimes they get over the line, and then sometimes they don't. They have a really crappy game. But I just have a gut feeling that they won't do well in the season, and honestly they won't. So I'm going to go with the West Tigers in this one, and I'm going to go with them by 8 points. And I do suspect the West Tigers really get an edge and really get a win here by 8 points in that game. And last but certainly not least, we see the Rabbitohs going up against the Bulldogs. Now in this game, the Bulldogs, they are on $10 and $1.05 is the Rabbitohs. So what I do suspect is the Bulldogs, they aren't really a good enough team at the moment. I know they have been trying very hard, but it's not going to work for them if they keep working hard, but then they lose a game. I know that they have won a couple of times, but still they're not a good enough team at the moment for me. And they won't get up to the top if they keep losing and losing and losing. But in this game, what I do suspect is, since they had Lachlan Lewis last week, I just have a gut feeling that the Bulldogs will get over the line, but in the first half, and then the second half they'll do crappy, and then the Rabbitohs will obviously turn things around and make a really big thrashing win. Because the Rabbitohs, they are a really good team, and what I do suspect is the Rabbitohs have been on edge, but since they have got really good players such as Latrell Mitchell, Damien Cook, Adam Reynolds, you name it, so on and so on, Blake Taff and Tane Milne, this game has been really good by them, and I just really do hope if they get over the line, I reckon they will. But since they are on $10 for the Bulldogs, I just have a gut feeling that they will get a big thrashing onto the Bulldogs and get a really big win in this game. So what I'm going to say is this one will be an easy win. I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs in this one, and I'm going to go with them by 24 points in this game. And most definitely, it will be a very big thrashing in that game. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, we're doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care, guys. Stay safe and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 300 subscribers. We're sitting on 215 anyway, so let's get up to that. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.